Hurricane Florence arrives in North Carolina, and the Richmond Senior High School shelter is now open. That and more all coming your way on your Thursday edition of Live at 5, brought to you by Richmond CC. Richmond County's nightly news starts right now. Over the past 24 hours, Hurricane Florence has dropped down to a Category 2 hurricane and has already hit the coastline with its outer rain bands. Clouds have rolled over Richmond County around 8 a.m. this morning, with heavy rain and high winds still expected to wreak havoc in the area. As of 11 a.m. today, Richmond County is under a tropical storm warning. The max wind speeds of Florence is now around 110 miles per hour, with Richmond County expected to feel between 30 and 40 miles per hour, with wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour. According to the National Weather Service in Raleigh, wind damage will be moderate for the Sandhills region. However, it is estimated that Florence will dump between 10 and 15 inches in the coming days. As it sits, Richmond County has potential for both major and moderate flooding. Brian Land, County Manager for Richmond County Government, announced today that Richmond Senior High is now open for shelter. Donna Wright, Emergency Management Coordinator for Richmond County, said all persons coming to the shelter should bring bedding, flashlights, special medicines, and foods, including foods and other needs for babies. If transportation is needed, call the Transportation Coordinator at telephone number 910-417-4948. Many disabled and elderly persons who live at home may require assistance in order to relocate to the open shelters. If you have a mobility issue and have special transportation needs, please contact the same number, 910-417-4948, and let them know so your transportation needs are addressed and a social worker will be notified. Also, any medical fragile citizens that go to the shelter must have a caregiver to take care of the individual's needs at all times. The shelter will not have medical supervision at all times to meet the medical fragile individual's needs. Pets are allowed at the shelter located at Richmond Senior High School, but pet owners must bring food, cages, and other items to assist with taking care of their pets. And pet owners must provide documentation of rabies vaccinations. Again, for more information about shelters and what to bring, call 910-417-4947. As everyone prepares for the coming storm, the Richmond Observer's Will Toller takes a look at an area that's prone to flooding.
With the rains from Hurricane Matthew 2 years ago, a low-lying section of East Broad Avenue was underwater, threatening several businesses. Derby Fields, owner of Derby Tailory, said the basement of her building was flooded, but the water stopped at the door and never entered the shop. With rainfall totals of more than 10 inches predicted for Richmond County during Hurricane Florence in the coming days, Fields is starting to make preparations. On Wednesday, she had 4 bags of sand and said she's planning to get more. Nick Murphy, owner of Nick's 4x4 Performance Center, said he's more prepared for this storm. Aside from the road retaining water, Falling Creek runs directly behind those businesses. During Matthew, Murphy said he thought the flooding, which was 4 feet over the creek bank, would have damaged the foundation, taking out the back wall. He was glad to see it didn't. Murphy said Robert Lee's shop, Rockingham Guns and Ammo, stands to be hit the worst as it's actually below ground level.
And that was Will Toller reporting. Fields plans to close Thursday afternoon and then see what happens. All we can do, she said, is make preparations and trust God. FEMA is preparing to assist in the after effects of Florence. Kenny Melvin has more.
We're here at the gas station off of I-73-74 here in Rockingham, and we're going to speak to John right quick with FEMA. All their vehicles have got Colorado tags on them, and we're glad to have them down here in North Carolina. You have a few things to say about what your role is going to be with the impact of Florence?
Yeah, they're going to stage us in Pembroke, and then we're going to go from there depending where they need assistance.
How long do you expect to be here, John?
Unknown. They'll keep us here as long as they need us. They haven't given us a timeline.
Okay.
We're headed to the city of Whiteville to help those folks out during Hurricane Florence. Be assisting the fire department there with whatever they need.
Well, we're told to just be prepared to do whatever's necessary, whether it's help to get water to somebody or possibly fight house fires or whatever needs to be done. We're just there to assist in any way we can.
Be sure to stay tuned to the Richmond Observer for coverage on Florence in the coming days. When we return, I'll be bringing you your Live at 5 weather report with more on Hurricane Florence. It's coming up right after the break, so stay tuned.
At Richmond Community College, we can prepare you for a high-skill, high-paying career in a variety of fields. From business to education, engineering, utilities, healthcare, criminal justice, information technology, and human services. At Richmond Community College, we can save you thousands of dollars on tuition through our university transfer programs that provide a seamless transition to universities and colleges throughout North Carolina. At Richmond Community College, we are always developing new courses and programs in response to the communities we serve. We offer day, evening, and online courses, and you can now complete 5 curriculum programs entirely online. At Richmond Community College, we believe in helping you prepare for a better life. Richmond Community College. Local college, big impact.
At Kyocera, we see your company differently. We see your documents, how they're accessed, what it takes to keep them secure, and how well your workflow is flowing.
Kyocera helps your entire document infrastructure run more efficiently, securely, and cost-effectively.
And what we see is an opportunity to integrate all of it.
Hayden Construction has 2 new homes under construction at 2 distinct locations, 125 Crystal Court in Carolina Hills and on Robberdale School Road. Both feature incredible floor plans and distinct features inside and out. Hayden Construction, quality, value, and beauty. Call Jamie Smart at 910-331-5811 or Nicole Hayden at 910-995-0717 today to schedule an appointment. Exit Realty, making dreams a reality.
At Richmond County Hospice, we strive to provide high-quality care to our patients and their families. Whether it's the incredible hospitality at the Haven House or from the comfort of your own home, you can count on Hospice to be there for you. We also offer monthly grief support groups, and our chaplain will be there to hold your hand in prayer. Through our amazing staff and our volunteers, Hospice has made difficult times easier for our community. Call the number on your screen if you feel that you or your loved one may benefit from our services. Richmond County Hospice. Peace, comfort, dignity.
Today's Live at 5 weather report is brought to you by Richmond Community College. And as you can see on this first map here to start out the weather report, the weather is coming quickly. The bands have already hit the Carolina here in the first hours, I should say. Actually, the very first band here on the outside, as you can see, has already swept through the Sandhills region with the bulk of Hurricane Florence right behind it. So if you were thinking maybe this would we'd have some reprieve until tomorrow, unfortunately not. We are starting to get it a little earlier. I know we mentioned yesterday that we probably wouldn't expect much rain today. However, probably going to see a little bit of the opposite of that. But what you get when you come to tracking some of these hurricanes, you never know what you're going to get from not only day to day, but seems like hour to hour. Now, tracking Florence here on the eastern part of North Carolina and South Carolina. See, it's kind of dipped a little bit further south even than yesterday. So again, the path has changed. Now, of course, anyone up and down South and North Carolina beaches should have at least evacuated if you were supposed to. If not, make sure to hunker down and get everything you need to prepared. At the very least, today would be the last day to do that. However, if you're on the eastern part of North Carolina, as you can see, you are already facing a good portion of the brunt of Hurricane Florence already. Pretty much all the way up to the Outer Banks up in Duck, all the way down to Charleston, if you will, down in South Carolina. Now, one thing we've noticed differently this time around, initially here in Richmond County, we were going to be on the left side of the eye of Hurricane Florence, which perennially is the safer, if you will, side of the hurricane. However, it seems like this thing is going to literally dip underneath Richmond County, head up towards the Appalachia part of North Carolina, and actually end up in Kentucky and Ohio and the West Virginia area over the next few days. And as you can see here, by 8 a.m. on Monday, it should be up in that region. However, over the weekend, expecting a ton of rain and a ton of wind. So let's take a look at that as far as the wind probabilities here. So obviously, the closer toward the middle of this, the higher the wind, or the probability of having high winds is going to be. Of course, the purple area, which is going to encompass the Wilmington area down towards New Bern, Cape Hatteras, the bottom part of the Outer Banks, should expect very, very high winds. Of course, as I mentioned, as you get further and further out, as the green gets lighter and lighter, the chances of having high sustainable winds will go down. But as we mentioned several times throughout the week, if you have items that are outside, whether it be patio furniture, plants, toys, pets, anything you need to bring in, go ahead and do that. Now, here's when you need to do that. That would be today, because tonight around 8 p.m., the brunt of these winds are going to begin this evening, as I just mentioned. And as you can see on this map, moving further and further west as this hurricane moves further and further into the United States, obviously the winds and rain will come with it. So, of course, as I mentioned, make sure to have everything bunkered down. Now, taking a look at the 5-day weather forecast. As we mentioned, for tomorrow, a 70% chance of rain, a high of 82, a low of 71. As for Saturday, we are expecting rain all day long and nothing but rain, with a 100% chance of precipitation on that day, with a high of 77, low of 71. As we get further into the weekend, an 80% chance of rain on Sunday. However, I would pretty much bet that you could almost bump that up to 100 by the time we get there. But a high of 79 on that day, low of 72. Now, as we get into the beginning of next week on Monday, once again, a 60% chance of rain, high of 85, low of 72. Then you can add in some thunder and lightning on Tuesday, as that stays at 60% chance of thunderstorms, with a high all the way up of 89, low of 69. So by Tuesday, hopefully this storm will have finished stalling out and will already be heading towards the West Virginia, Kentucky, and Ohio area, as I mentioned earlier. And that's going to do it for your Live at 5 weather report. When we return, Council awards a contract for RCC's downtown campus, and Richmond County Hospice's Dancing with the Stars was a night of magic. It's coming up right after the break, so stay tuned.
McNair Auto Sales is the place to buy your pre-owned car, truck, or van. To be the best, it takes big selection, friendly staff, and great pricing. We guarantee a no-hassle buying experience, and financing is available right on site. So come see us today. We're located at 1026 East Broad Avenue in Rockingham. And remember, with over 40 years of experience, you know McNair is the name you can trust.
Willow Tree Antiques and Gifts is all about rustic home decor and gifts. You will always find a variety of unique antiques, vintage, and new items in our shop. Come and see our selection of housewarming, new baby, and wedding gifts. For the man in your life, we have many collectibles, Boker knives, and leather. And ladies love the jewelry, purses, candles, hats, and t-shirts. We also offer a 30-day layaway program. Come and experience shopping at Willow Tree Antiques and Gifts.
Monty Crump, Rockingham City Manager, brought a request to the council Tuesday evening to award the contract for construction of the new Richmond Community College downtown campus. According to Crump, the bids were opened on June 26th, with the lowest responsible bidder being John M. Campbell Company of Monroe. The low bid of $11.5 million was over the planned budget. The city then worked with the low bidder on value engineering adjustments in order to bring the bid in line with budget. Crump noted that many items were reviewed, including elimination of the clock tower and removing the canopies from the building, but in the end they were able to save these curb appeal items on a building Crump pointed out would be here for 30 years or more. The final contract approved by council was in the amount of $11.3 million. The bulk of the required funding for the new facility is coming from grants, including $4.2 million from the Cole Foundation, another $4.2 million from the Richmond Community Foundation grant, and other large contributions from the Levine Foundation and Richmond Community College state bonds in the amount of $1 million each. Other grants include $100,000 from the Cannon Foundation and $94,340 from the North Carolina Commerce Department. A USDA loan was secured for the bulk of the remaining required funding in the amount of $2.5 million. The total project budget, including engineering, legal, interim interest, contingency, and environmental abatement, comes to $13,130,557. Mayor Steve Morris said this morning on Good Morning Sandhills, commenting that the city is constructing the facility with guidance from RCC on the design, and once the building is paid for, it will be deeded over to the college. Ticket holders began arriving early on September 8th, dressed in their best attire, as the much-anticipated night of Dancing with the Stars was finally at hand. The sense of magic was immediately felt upon entering the venue, as the theme from Walt Disney World greeted all. The magic continued throughout as people headed to the Taste of the Sandhills, which began in the banquet room. Sampling of food filled hundreds of plates, which were provided by the 24 participating restaurants from Richmond County, Moore County, and Scotland County. Tables were uniquely decorated for the occasion as each person taste tested. Tickets were given to all who attended so each could vote on their favorite restaurant. The owner of Number One Diner, Jeannie Reynolds, was the winner of the Tasty Award for the second year in a row with her home-cooked style. Reynolds' chicken and dumplings, as well as her dressing and gravy, were a big hit with the crowd. As the curtain opened inside the Cole Auditorium to unveil the magical castle, the crowd loudly applauded when returning champions Dennis Quick, Dr. Mary Catherine Marie, Robert Smith, and Tara K. Billingsley took to the stage with the Mary Poppins medley. Next up were the 6 couples who dazzled the audience in their own special way, each dancing to a Disney song as the castle magically lit the stage in the background. After each couple finished their allotted time on the stage, the judges critiqued their performance. When the final dance had been performed for each couple, the judges showed their vote by holding up Mickey Mouse ears, which showed the score. The awards were then given to the 3 winning couples. It was a close call for 2 couples, as Jason and Jesse Graham and JC and Karen Everett tied with an almost perfect score for the judges' choice, 29 out of 30. The winning couples for the night were Hunter Smart and Kaya Srirantanakul, winning the Hospice Choice Award for raising the most money, JC and Karen Everett winning the People's Choice Award, and finally a father and daughter team of Jason and Jesse Graham winning the Judge's Choice Award. Proceeds from the fundraiser go to Hospice, a nonprofit agency. Dancing with the Stars is Hospice's biggest fundraising event of the year. Several of the dancers had family members, which Hospice had cared for in the last days of their lives, and they wanted to give back to Hospice in return. A few other dancers also volunteered with Hospice. And that's going to do it for today's edition of Live at 5. Folks, once again, we want to remind you of how serious Hurricane Florence is going to be. Please do not take any risk with this storm. While it may have dropped down to a Category 2, the threats there are still there, and it should not be taken lightly. Coming up at 5:30, of course, don't forget to tune in to the RO Sports Show, where we have Raider football head coach Brian Till. Plus, we're top-heavy in football this week, and the NASCAR playoffs begin. That's coming up at 5:30. So thanks for watching Live at 5, and have a good night, Richmond County.